So, okay. Now, mute, please. So, guys, now we will talk about the second action. As I said, we have two muscles. We had circular muscles and radial muscles. About radial muscles, we talked. Now we will talk about the circular muscles. Circular muscles, from the name, you can understand that they have this type of structure. Yes, I'm listening.
Do you have the previous picture of the eye structure?
No, but I have recording. I will send to YouTube so you can watch it. There's no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Because, you know, I'm writing in the Zoom's whiteboard. So when our session finished, so they are also closing the pictures. So we have circular muscles. As I said, these are second type of muscles in the iris. Circular muscles, when contract, we will have opposite action. So in this case, pupil becomes smaller or becomes narrow. So it becomes smaller. This is happening when you are in a bright room, guys. When you are in a bright area. Because this is important, they are asking. So when you are in a bright area, let's say. Because if I'm in a bright area, I don't need to catch more light because light is enough for me. So in this case, I need to catch less light. For the catching less light, people will be narrow. So this is, guys, don't forget one reflex action. What we need, actually, we have two actions. One of them is this one. So pupil reflex or iris reflex is related with the light amount. So according to the amount of light, pupil widens or narrows. And these two muscles, guys, don't forget, like circular muscles and radial muscles work opposite to each other. Guys, do you know what we are calling these two types of muscles when they work opposite? Okay, very good. So this is known as antagonistic. So actually, these two muscles are antagonistic muscles. You know that in biology, we generally give biceps and triceps as an example of antagonistic muscle. But actually, these two muscles are also antagonistic, circular and radial muscles. So if we will make a table about these two muscles, so I'm repeating again, we have circular muscles and radial muscles. So when you are in a dark area, circular muscles relax, but radial muscles contract. When you are in a light area or bright light, let's say that, in a bright light, guys, dark area is dim light. When you are in a bright light area, under bright light, in this case, we will have opposite action, such as circular muscles will contract, but radial muscles will relax. So this is very important. And as a result, let's also write the result in here. So if we will talk about the pupil size, so in a dark area, it widens. In a bright light area, it shortens, like it becomes narrow, let's say. Shortens, widens. So this is also important detail for us. And you know, in the movies, maybe you saw, when someone dies, in the movies especially, we can see, they are opening their eyes and using light. So if they see that eyes, an example, change the diameter, pupil changes diameter, it means that human is alive. But if they open the eyelids and they see that still pupil is wider and it's not changing, it means that man, woman is died. Because when we die, we will not have a reflex. So guys, let's like this example. When I will close my eyes, now I closed my eyes, as you see, my pupil inside now it's wider. But when I'm opening my eyes, it becomes smaller. So when human dies, they are opening and they see that there's no change. It's still wider. So it means that it's dead. Yes, Ferd, what's your question?
Yes, thank you. Like, may the high amount of light damage the eye structure?
Of course, this is the reason. This is the reason. You know, we can't, yes, watch to the sunlight for like period of time.
Okay.
The reason, because guys, we have special cells, we have special molecules. Actually, light makes reactions in the eye, which helps you to see. More light means more energy. This energy can damage the molecule structure. So this is the reason why we have this, you know, reflex. Let's continue with the next part. If you remember, we were in the fourth part. We said that number 4 was iris, and I gave you information about the iris. Now we will continue with fifth part. Fifth part is pupil, guys. Actually, about pupil, I gave you example. There's no meaning to give more details. So pupil is just a hole. It's a like space where light passes through. After pupil, as the next part, we will have, in here you can see from the picture, we have lens, guys. We have lens. Lens is a special structure which generally controlled by ciliary body, guys. So in the ciliary body, we have muscles. These muscles control the thickness of the lens, guys. So lens thickness is very important. Actually, look to the picture. In here, we have fovea. At the back, we have fovea. Fovea is an area where light must pass, focused. So light must be focused in here, in this area, to normal vision, because you have photoreceptors in here, guys, mostly. And lens, by the changing its thickness, focuses light to the needed place, to the needed area. Now I will give you example information about the second reflex. As I said, we need to learn 2 reflexes. Another one is a lens reflex. So now I will give you information about lens reflex. So let's draw the lens picture. So lens, as you see, they have biconvex shape. Biconvex. You know, guys, moving out, it's convex in physics. It is biconvex, which means that both sides are convex. But if you remember, in the red blood cell, yes, in the red blood cell, we said that red blood cells have
biconcave.
Very good. Biconcave shape. So concave is moving inside. Convex is out, let's say that. So now we will talk about the lens, which is biconvex structure. Guys, lens, don't forget, they are attaching to the ligaments like this one. It's like fiber, guys. Ligament, you can think about the fiber. And these fibers, ligaments, are attaching to the muscle, like muscle. I will write their names. The name of these muscles are known as ciliary muscles. The name of these ligaments, what we have, is known as suspensory ligaments. So we have suspensory ligaments which are attaching to the lens. And these suspensory ligaments, they are connecting lens to the ciliary muscles. And ciliary muscles, by contraction and relaxation, change the thickness. Let's say, guys, like this one. Let's say that I have hands, yes, fingers I have in here. These fingers move. Why? Because I have muscles in here. And these muscles, by the helping of tendons, move these fingers. So ciliary muscle, by suspensory ligaments, change the thickness of lens. So now I will explain why thickness is changing. Firstly, you must know that the thickness of lens related with the distance, guys. So when you are looking to the far object, or when you are looking to the near object, thickness will be different, such as if you are looking to the far object or distant, you know, they are mostly using distant object, your lens becomes thinner. Lens is thinner. When you are looking to the near or close object, in this case, lens is, I'm sorry, not in, it must be is. Lens will be thicker, is thicker. Because maybe you know, thick lens from physics, maybe if you learn optics, thick lenses, they are taking light to the close. Thin lenses move away according to the distances. And these two processes together are known as accommodation, guys. They have specific name. Lens reflex is also known as accommodation. This is known as accommodation. So this is our second reflex. Now I will write what happens and why the thicknesses are changing.
That's why they say watch TV from far.
Yeah, of course, because the distance will also affect. Like this one, Melek, if I will look to this remote control from the very close distance, let's say that in here, look, I can't see clearly, it becomes blurry. So there must be some distance, an example, for the focusing of the light. And you know, there's one eye exercising. They are saying that it's good to exercise eyes by this way. Yes, look to the distant object, near object, distant object, near object, many times. By this way, you are exercising your, let's say, the lens. Now, let's again draw a similar table to see how they are changing. So we have, let's say that far object and close object. You need to learn, firstly, about the ciliary muscle, You need to learn what happens with the suspensory ligaments. You need also to learn the lens thickness. Lens thickness. In biology, we have one law for memorizing. 3C law, 3C. 3C means that if you look to the close object, 1C is close object. Your ciliary muscles, second C, contract. So close ciliary contracts. So guys, when you are looking to the close object, your ciliary muscles contract. So of course, it means that when you will look to the far object, your ciliary muscles will relax, because these two processes are opposite to each other. Guys, when ciliary muscles contract, suspensory ligaments become loose, like soft. And as a result, when it is loose, it becomes thick. So lens thickness increases, so it becomes thicker. But when you are looking at the far object, ciliary muscles relax, suspensory ligaments become tighten. Tightens, an example, tighten, make a pull force for the lens thickness. As a result, lens will be thinner.
Okay, wait. I need to copy this.
Yes, I know. I'm waiting because of it. Also, from this part of the lesson, there are questions. They are asking questions about how they are changing. So these two reflexes are important. One of them is iris reflex, pupil reflex. So I'm repeating again. Pupil reflex works with the light level. It's not related with the distance, guys, okay? This is related with the light level. You have more light, less light. But this reflex works according to the distance. So they are saying that, so if we are looking, let's say that's a computer like me, which is close distance, of course, in this case, your ciliary muscles become mostly contracted. An example, suspended ligaments loose, which can affect, that these muscles also. But there's a reason why they are saying that don't use computer a lot. So also looking to the distant objects will help you. So this was our lens. Now we are going to the next part. After lens, we have another layer. I'm going to the picture if you finished. So we are also recording. So if you want, you can also later draw it. There's no problem. So let's go to this picture, continue. So lens was this structure, guys, as we said. So lens. Then we have next part. It is number 6, yes? As I remember. We have, guys, 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the number 7. So in number 7, we have another liquid part known as vitreous humor, guys. Vitreous humor. It is also watery substance, vitreous humor. Vitreous humor also is, don't forget, guys, it is watery substance. This watery substance is important to keep the shape, and also it is transparent for the letting light movement, because if they will be cloudy or transparency will be less, so there will be more refraction, which will affect the vision process. Another part, what we need to learn, it is, let's say the number 8, we have, I will give you short information, actually I didn't give, about these 3 layers, guys. Look to this picture. In this picture, we have 3 layers. So we have sclera. Sclera from the picture, you can see that it is white part of the eye, which is needed for protection. Because you know that outermost layers always relate with the protection. Under sclera, we have choroid. Choroid is a layer which is rich with blood vessels. And you know that blood is important for the taking of the nutrients, such as glucose, because you know that these cells are also working and they need oxygen, glucose for respiration, for energy production. And these substances carried by the blood vessels through the choroid layer. Third layer, innermost layer, is known as retina. Because retina is a third layer, and actually receptors are in here. So in the retina, we have photoreceptors. Photoreceptors are in here. So we have photoreceptors. Actually, we have very short part of the lesson. Let's continue. In 10-15 minutes, we will finish. So we have photoreceptors, guys, in here, in retina. Now I will give you information about photoreceptors. So guys, in the eye, we have 2 types of photoreceptors. One type is known as rod cells, rods. We call them as rods. And other ones are known as cones. Cones. Cone, I think you know, yes? Cone is a part of the plant which we can find in pine, shishka, the one which they are using for the reproduction, for the storage of seeds. So they have cone-like shape, let's say. Another one, they will have rod-like shapes. So rods and cones. Firstly, let's talk about their functions, especially. So guys, don't forget, rods are related with night vision. Night vision. So rods help you to see at night mostly. Cones are related with the color vision, guys. Color vision. But there's one thing. Rods are very sensitive to the light amount. So it means that rods work even in a dim light. So they are very sensitive to the light. Guys, being very sensitive to the light, it means that even small light makes them active. But cones need bright light for the working. Need bright light. This is the reason why we can see colors with the helping of bright light, guys. So if I will enter to this room at night, I will not see the colors. I will see that some objects in here, such as chair, table, or projector, computer, books. I will see the objects, but not their true color. To see the color, I need light, bright light. Why? Because cones, which detect color, work at bright light. Guys, when you will have problem in the roads, we will have which condition? Do you know, guys? What's the name of problem, disease, condition where people have problem in their roads? It is known as night blindness.
Night blindness.
Yes, of course. It's known as night blindness. Thank you, Farid, also for waiting. Night, guys, blindness. But what we will have if we will have deficiency with the cones?
We will not detect colors.
Very good. This is known as, what's the name of this condition?
Color blindness.
Color blindness, of course. Daltonism, guys. Color blindness. One type of color blindness is known as daltonism. You must know that, I will write also this detail. Guys, night blindness is not genetic. It's not genetic. So do you know what can be the reason of night blindness?
Too many light.
No. It is related with vitamin deficiency. Which vitamin?
A, I guess, right?
Yes, of course. It's a deficiency of vitamin A, guys. So when people have less vitamin A, of course, there are some other problems with vitamin A, but one of them is night blindness. You know, in Russian, they are calling it kurinaya slipota. In Azerbaijan, it is toyok körlüğü, but in English, it is night blindness. Why? Because you know that some birds, also chicken, can't see at night. This is the reason why evening, an example, when it becomes, let's say, twilight, so they are going to their, let's say, that homes. Because they know that if they will stay outside, so they will become blind, and wild animals such as foxes will eat them. But what about color blindness, guys? What do you think? What's the reason of color blindness?
Is it genetic? No.
Yes, of course. This is genetic disease. Actually, it's not related. Genetic disease, which is passing by X chromosome, guys. X chromosome. You know, we have chromosomes which affect our gender. We call them as sex chromosome. In females, they have 2 X chromosomes. in males, we have one X and one Y chromosome. So this disease carried by X chromosomes, guys. And lastly, I want to write where we can find them, okay? So, rods, we can find in the retina, but in which part of retina? Other parts of retina. I will show you other parts. Except we can't find in fovea and in blind spot. But cones also are in retina, but cones are only in fovea. I will show you what's fovea, guys. First, write them, please. So I'm repeating again. In the first part, we have their functions, let's say. And the second one, let's say that their property or their dependence from the light. Third one is a problem, like deficiency problem. Fourth one, their location. So please draw also this table, which is important for us about 2 eye cells. If you have any question till that part, you can ask.
Mr. Pervez,
Yes, sir.
is there such a thing as eye paralysis?
Eye paralysis probably can occur. Maybe when we will have damage in the brain, which is responsible for the eye part. And also, you know, we have muscles, as I said, muscles which are moving eyelids, muscles which are moving eyeballs. Yes, if paralysis can occur because the brain part, which is responsible for their movement, will be paralyzed. Of course, these muscles can't work alone, and we will have paralysis also.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I think you're finished. Now I will show these parts. So guys, fovea. What's fovea? Fovea, actually, you must know that in the retina, we have 2 important parts, okay? One of them is this area. Just use black color. One of them is this area, guys. This area is known as fovea. Fovea, if you remember, I said that it's an area where light is focused on. So in fovea, we have only cones. Only cones. Another part, don't forget, is this area, which is known as blind spot. Guys, in blind spot, we don't have any photoreceptors. So there's no rod and cones. There's no rod and cones in blind spot. So we can find, from here, we can understand that rods we can find in other parts, such as in here, guys. Look, in these parts, we have rods, or rods we can find, let's say that in here. So rods only belong to other parts, like most parts of the retina, except, again, fovea and blind spot. But cones are specific only for fovea. We can find in other places. And what's blind spot, guys? I will explain, give you information about blind spot. It will be our which part, which numbered part?
11, I think.
11th. So 11th, okay. 11th part is blind spot, guys. Blind spot. In blind spot, there's no receptor. But it is important part. Why? Because optic nerve extends from here. Look, optic nerve takes impulse and gives it to the brain from here in this region. Optic nerve alone, optic nerve, don't forget, guys, it is sensory neuron. It contains only sensory neurons. Why? Because you know that sensory neurons take impulse to the brain, and this optic nerve also takes it to the brain. I will give you one interesting information about blind spot. When light focuses to the blind spot, we are becoming blind from the name. Example is this one. When you are in a dark area, let's say that it is 1 o'clock at night, and I want to sleep, and I turned off the light, and I adapted to the vision, yes, at night, to my room example. And someone turns on the light, enters to your room. For a short period of time, you are becoming blind, and you are saying, please close the light because I can't see. So the reason in here is light, in that case, focuses to the blind spot, and you are becoming for the short period of time blind. Or vice versa. Let's say that at 9 o'clock evening, I'm in a bright room, then light went off. For the short period of time, you are blind, then you are adapting to see some, objects. So I'm checking what we forgot. So actually, we talked about all the parts of the lesson. So you need to learn them. For the next lesson, guys, just wait.